tiger next to me. Ugh. How are we doing, everyone? Nice to see you. Who's in the house? Vegemite Codbod, you are first. You win the internet for today. Eliza is also here. Hello to you and welcome. 20 Queen is in the house. Good old Richard Benham. Matty R. Morning. Angharad's Life. Good morning from my mam and I. Good old Angharad and Linda. Do follow Angharad. She's a young YouTuber and she's right nice. Hassim Hakon is in the house again. Vin Vegan. Good morning, everyone. You all have a great day. You have a great day too. Where in the world are you, Vin Vegan? And how's the vegan scene where you are? Joan, good morning to you, lovely. Some lovely kisses there. 4072. Good evening, everyone from Noosa, Queensland, Australia. I'm going to guess that is Noosa. Interesting. How's the vegan scene in Noosa and in Queensland in general? I've never heard. Thanks for joining. Twisted Hippies here. Good to see you. Managed to catch a stream. Good to have you, brother. How's things with you? Acacia is here. The vegan metalhead. The background reminds me of the sadness of a Lanesville Zoo massacre. I've not even heard of that. I think the zoos are just sad in general. Animal prisons, aren't they? Drama Llama. That's a great name. It's 4 a.m. What am I doing there? What are you doing there? Oh, and there's a hench emoji from Anchor. How is everyone? What are you up to? What have you been doing? How are you feeling? And generally, how are you? Hope you're having a good weekend. I've not even thumbs up my own stream. Looks like we have a full contingent of thumbs. Oh no, there's one missing. Who's not thumbs up or down the stream? Come on, you're letting the side down. Where's the music? Acacia, thoughts on matcha? So matcha is green tea, and the only difference is the leaves have been powdered, and so you're actually swallowing the leaves rather than where you normally have the leaves in a tea bag and you're kind of drinking the greens water. It's a bit like if you steam kale. That's a bit like throwing the kale out and drinking the water. Better to actually swallow the leaves. So matcha is fantastic. You get something like 10 times the antioxidants. You have that, is it theobromine, which is really good for your mental state. You're kind of calm but focused. One of the most antioxidant rich things you can have, other than hibiscus tea, has a lot more antioxidants actually than matcha, but matcha is the nearest, I think, as far as we know to date, behind it. So yeah, I'm a fan of matcha. I did swear off caffeine, but I've found I can include a little bit now and be okay. So I have 1 or 2 matchas a day generally. I have 1 or 2 matchas a day. That's my drink of choice. When it comes to caffeinated drinks anyway. Yeah, very good. Get it in ya. The vegan metalhead, the situation I am mentioning, a guy had a bunch of big cats, bears, etc. and let them loose. That was me and I fixed that. What do you mean? It's just a tippy. I'm just going to call you E. Hi, thanks for some love hearts. Whoosh, thoughts on BHT? I don't know what that is, so I don't have any. I'll do a quick Google. Powerful antiviral, antioxidant, extends lifespan. Great value. Oh, so they're trying to assess a supplement. Butyrate hydroxytoluene. No idea. But if it's in a lab-made chemical added to foods as a preservative, I don't like it. If it's a compound from Whole Foods, I like it. If it's a chemical artificially created in a lab, I generally don't like it. Okay, so I just ordered a big bag. I'm hooked. Nice. Vegan Metalhead, how dare you? Ankarad and Linda love the matcha as well. Very good. Hassim, his whiskers with rose hips is nice. Yeah, I've had that. I used to have that as a tea often. I can't remember the brand, but I remember the box really well. Rose hips are extremely high in antioxidants as well. One of the highest. I think they're a fruit, are they? And they're one of the highest. Super chat. Drama Llama very kindly donated 2 US bucks. I'm 6'2" and 140 pounds. I can't keep my weight on. Any tips? Yeah, eat more calories. I mean, what am I? What do I weigh? 16 stone? 16 and a half stone. So a lot more than 140 pounds. Hi, are you okay?
I was just saying hi. I just noticed that great tiger you've got.
He's good, isn't he?
Underwater.
He's going for a swim.
Yeah. Hi, good morning everyone. Happy Sunday.
Hello, everybody.
Sorry, talk about how much you weigh. I interrupted you.
I've been a lot heavier as a vegan. You know, I was bodybuilding. Well, I still am, but I was wanting to get heavier and heavier. And yeah, I was 230 pounds as a vegan. So, and eating whole foods as well, not eating junk foods. So one thing you could do is just drink oil and eat sugar. That would take up the least space in your gut and that will keep your weight up. It'd be horrible for your health. If you want to do it healthily, eat whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. But eat well of the legumes, maybe a little tofu or tempeh or seitan, you know, a bit more processed protein if you're, you know, struggling to get enough volume of foods. And particularly if you're into strength or physique training, a bit higher protein percentage can be of benefit. And then you want to be eating, just as I say, more calorically dense. So fruits wise, you want to eat dried fruits and tropical fruits and not so much like apples and oranges, you know, more water, more fiber, less calories. It's just tweaking your caloric density. Perhaps go a little higher in dietary fats, nuts, seeds, whole nut and seed butters, avocados, you know, 9 calories per gram for fats versus 4 calories per gram for protein and carbs. So yeah, that can do it. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's really kind. Morning, Stain. How are you doing? Exions is in the house. Bob Minette. Love all you vegans. We love you too. Morning, Casey, my IRL friends. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. What have you been up to? Twisted Tippy, chamomile nettle with spearmint is nice and great for you too. Yep. Yep, I love all of those. Yep. Nankarad with the gem emoji. Very nice. Twisted Hippie, nut butters and protein powder mix well for bulking. You mix them together? Do you mean, oh, in the shake, in the protein shake? Yeah, that would work well. Vegan Metalhead there with the Simpsons reference. Neighborinos, Herbivorinos. Yeah, I'll have like a couple of scoops of protein a day, and other than that, pretty much eating whole plant food. Sometimes I'll switch a scoop of protein for some seitan or tofu or something. But yeah, I find it really easy to keep my weight up. And like I said, I'm eating mostly whole foods, you know, which is a lot of water and fibre, so it's more difficult in that way. Drama Llama, thank you for the answer. I always get told eat more. Yeah, but I was like to get opinions from people who are in good shape and know how to do it. Yeah, I mean, eat, it is basically calories in, calories out, isn't it? But then there's like healthier ways to do it, and then there's easier ways to do it. Because most people struggle, it's the volume of food. You know, people are eating their standard diet, and then they switch to like a healthier, whole foods, plant-based diet, and they eat the same volume of food, but like they're dropped like 2,000 calories or something, and then they wonder why they can't keep the weight on or to grow. So it's that easy. Pardon me. Fernando is in the house. Greetings from Mexico. Greetings, my friend. How's the vegan scene where you are in Mexico? Angel Keeper, hello Paul, I bought your ebook, thank you. And I've been walking at least 5 miles a day and eating only whole foods. I'm aiming to lose 3 stone by September. Nice. Nice. Where are we now? January, February, March, April, May, July, August, September. That's a lot of weight to lose in that time. You don't want to lose more than, I mean, I don't know how heavy you are now, but you don't want to lose more than 1% of your total body weight every week, because that will hurt you. You'll be burning off lean muscle mass. So go careful. Try not to lose more than 1% of your total body weight. Whoosh. I think I asked this before, but I forgot what you said was your favourite ingredients for your protein shakes. So if I'm having a protein shake, typically I just have it with water, but I do have it in a smoothie in the morning. And so I have a lot of dates for sweetness. I have my Viva Life protein powder. And then I have a lot of oats for their slow burning energy. I add flax meal or flax seeds and chia seeds for the omega-3s for the lignans. Loads of berries for the antioxidants. A little seaweed, which sounds gross, but you can't taste it because it's like a 2-litre smoothie almost. So I've got like a tablespoon of like dulse or like arame flakes in there or something. You can't taste it, and it's just a good way of knowing I've had my iodine. I think that's about it generally. You can put some leaves in there as well, would be good. I put creatine, because I'm pre-workout. Yeah, and sometimes I may switch berries out for some tropical fruits, but by and large I like berries because they're very high in antioxidants. Hellbound Nelson, hello again on a different account. Oh, okay. Hello again. Twitter Tippy, what's a good vegan Sunday afternoon meal? Maybe a veggie roast? Yeah, like a nut roast would be fantastic. I've not had one for a long time, but some vegan gravy, that would be fantastic. And in fact, we've gone to like carveries before. We wouldn't probably do it now, but we've gone before with family. And we just load up on all the potatoes and veggies, and have taken our own like nut roast to put on the plate. Exions, I'm not vegan. Any tips on going vegan for a sociopath? I don't have empathy for other life. Well, maybe think of your own life, and if you're eating animals, you're killing yourself. So just think about yourself. Then eat plants. That'll do it. Drama Llama, I can fill up on rice, beans and veggies, but then I struggle to eat 1,500 calories. Wow, entire day. Struggle. I'm trying hard not to look like a skinny vegan. Yeah, it takes a while. I mean, once your gut microbiome changes over and you've got more of the Prevotella strains, you can normally find that you can fit in more and more calories. And if I can do 6,000 calories, mostly whole foods, like, you ought to be able to do at least half that, I would hope. I now do about 4.5, so about 3 times what you're doing, and just with a couple of scoops of protein powder. Your stomach is stretchy. It just sometimes takes a little while. Stacey Langley's in the house. Angel Keeper. Angel Keeper. Wake up, Paul. I'm 16 stone, put on 3 stone over lockdown, so I put quickly, so should I get rid of it? The body doesn't work like that, sadly. But you can lose 1% of your total body weight safely, but that's the maximum. So do be careful. Don't be in a rush. Which I know is easier said than done when we don't look the way we'd like to. Matthew Carvel is in the house from Towcester. Oh, Towcester, never heard of Northamptonshire. How's the vegan scene in Towcester? Or Towcester? Tic-tac behind the camera. Why have your views gone down? You're more wholesome than vegan guys. I never understand that. So, people just like drama, and I've sort of gone away from the drama. So, yeah, that's why. And I guess the vegan, and thanks for your kind words. And I think the vegan scene is quite saturated. I'm sure if I started up a carnivore channel, I'd be getting mad views because hardly any idiots are stupid enough to do that. But of course, that's not something I'm going to do. Yeah, I can't worry too much. Matty feels like I'm feeding a zoo. I have all our crazy rescues shouting, I see this three-legged cat stadium and husky Kyler. I have to tend to the budgies. Lovely. I would love to be surrounded by animals. Just a tip, but yeah, that's what me and the ex used to do. We'd bring food for the youngin and we'd triple up on veggies in the pub roast. And the funny thing was, so I would get 2 huge plates of vegetables, 2 massive plates and some potatoes. And some people would say to me, you eat a lot, like I'm surprised you're not fat. And they've got like their main with meat, they've got a dessert, they're having a couple of pints of beer. They're having more calories than I am. And they're wondering why I'm not fat. Some people just don't know. Uh, 4072. Any tips on gut repair? I've been diagnosed celiac about 18 months ago and have now become super sensitive to almost everything. I have had hives for the last week due to mushrooms. I'm not really much of a gut expert, but I'll tell you who is Goji Man, YouTuber Simon Hammett. And I actually had a gut issue a couple of years ago. I developed SIBO, which is really quite common. And I got diagnosed and treated. I would say watch some of Simon's videos and perhaps run some tests. I mean, he would be able to advise you like which ones you may need. Yeah. And then, if it's leaky gut, there are protocols for that. So if you Google like Dr. Clapper leaky gut, it's got a protocol to repair that if that's what the issue is. But obviously, without running tests, you don't know, so you're shooting in. So I would say run some tests, maybe. That might be the best way. Tic Tac, thoughts on type 2 diabetes reversal? What foods should I eat and stay away from? That's really easy. So you need to eat lower fat, higher carb, believe it or not. So type 2 is caused when fats, particularly saturates, get lodged inside of muscle cells. This is called intramyocellular lipids. And it basically just blocks insulin signaling. So maybe like a bit of a weight loss diet for a short time might help. But you want to go really low fat. You want to go animal food. Basically, you want to eat whole foods, plant-based. Dietary fats to no more than like 10-15% of your calories, probably narrower than 10. As long as you're eating adequate, you want to eat at least 20 grams of fat per day, I'd say, for a meal. And you should soon. Most people reverse it and pretty quick as well. That's certainly been my experience with my clients. I can recommend the book, The Program for Reversing Diabetes by Dr. Neil Barnard. He talks all about it. But basically, plenty of legumes, whole grains. Legumes are particularly good because they lower the glycemic load at that meal and at the next meal, even if it's like the next day. It's called the second meal effect. So legumes are particularly good, but whole grains as well. I wouldn't go with refined grains. I probably would drop white potatoes for now as well and just stick to like sweet potatoes, maybe yams. Lots of whole fruit and veg, a little nuts and seeds. Yeah. Morning, Aled. Good to see you again. Thanks, Angel. Thanks for not giving me a hard time. Exion. Thanks, Angel. Just going to watch Seaspiracy with my girlfriend tonight. Nice. Fernando, what do you mean about vegan scene? Just are vegans catered for? Like, are there restaurants? Is there like a meet-up group? Like, are there many vegans in your area? What's the dilly? Matthew, not many vegans in Colchester, but vegan options have increased. Well, that's good, isn't it? That's good. Anna Winkle, welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing if you're in the chat. Joan is making sweet potato and lentil curry later. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Casey, you need to check out his test. My doctor just told me to watch food intake, so I was suffering with extreme bloating for over a year. My digestion's still not completely recovered. Yeah, there's something going on in there, isn't there? There's something going on, and hopefully, if you can identify it, you will be able to treat it. So yeah, I would speak to young Goji, man. Chukul, what are your thoughts about fruitarians? I think it's likely not optimal because my understanding is it's good to eat a wide range of whole plant foods to get like a more nutritional diversity, more diversity in your types of fiber and resistant starch and polyphenols, and then you better feed the gut microbiome. And the more diverse of these foods you're eating, the more diverse your range of gut microbes is going to be, and then the better potential for health. I mean, I hear of fruitarians saying that their bloods are fantastic and they feel really well. So, I'm not going to poo-poo anyone. But my understanding is there's no science to suggest that there would be a benefit to eating raw. There's some bro science about, you're not destroying your enzymes and things. But actually, if you look at some cooking methods, like sometimes you release more nutrients by cooking, even microwaving, for instance. Carrots and tomatoes spring to mind with the lycopene and the beta-carotene. So I actually went not quite fruitarian for the first 2 years. Well, I ate mostly fruit, some salad greens, a little nuts and seeds, no more than 10%. So I was sort of 80-10-10, but the only difference was I was adding in some protein powder because of being a bodybuilder. So I can't say I did it properly, but I always had gut dysbiosis. I always had like a weird elimination issues, like a bit of kind of diarrheal symptoms. And then on the set of Game Changers, I got told, talking to all the scientists and the leading people in all these areas, and the consensus is that it looks like we've become starchivores because of the amount of amylase we now produce, or changes in our dentition, certain other things. I was hoping it was all going to come out in the film, but that they didn't touch on it, sadly. But I went more... I eat a lot of raw food still. I eat a lot of raw food. But I went higher starch and not completely fruit. And my health just really skyrocketed. So for me, it seemed to be better. But I'm not saying that other people won't thrive on it. I just think it's hard to have enough fruit, unless you're living in Costa Rica or somewhere. If you're living in the West, having enough raw... having enough ripe fruit on hand at all times to feed your needs, particularly if you're a larger person like me or very active. There's the expense, the enjoyment factor. Some people love it, but I think it would be easier if you're in a tropical climate and you've got access to tropical fruits. But not hating, and some people say that they do really well. So, hang on, my cat wants me. Are you coming in? Come on then. You're noisy. Yeah. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Cowboy's here, ladies and gentlemen. He's good, isn't he? Okay. Tic-tac behind the camera. Should I stay away from rice? No. My doctor told me to stay away from bread, rice and carbs. What a bell end. Carbohydrate is our species-specific preferred fuel source. We are very definitely herbivores. We can choose to be. What's the opposite of obligate? Hang on. We can be facultative omnivores. We can choose to eat meat and stuff, but the more of that you eat, the quicker you die. And carbs are amazing for us. They give us the best energy. They come with the most nutrients, your fruits and veggies. Doctors, they get very little training on nutrition, and the little they do get is often funded by the materials can be funded by the meat and sugar industries and things. Doctors have no clue. You'd be better off asking your bin man what you should be eating, by and large. Yeah, I mean rice. The only thing I'll say about rice, out of all the whole grains, is that it has oftentimes an appreciable amount of arsenic in there, and that seems to offset the cancer prevention benefits of most whole grains. So I don't eat it so often as other grains, is the only thing I'll say about rice. Bread, yeah, you're best eating intact grains rather than grains made into flour. But carbs, what carbs? Refined sugar, refined grains, white flour, yeah, not good for your health. But whole intact carbohydrates in whole food form, fruits, legumes, tubers, vegetables, whole grains, the healthiest foods in the world. So that doctor should just shut their mouth. The data is just undeniable. It's just overwhelming. The scientific consensus is that whole, healthy, carbohydrate-rich foods are good for you. There's carbs and there's carbs. So if someone is just saying carbs, they're basically telling you they've not got no clue about nutrition. That's what they're saying, really. Twisted Hippie, favourite beans. I wouldn't be able to choose between chickpeas and kidney beans. I like those. I maybe like chickpeas a bit more than kidney beans. I like making chickpea tuna mayo. And also you've got hummus as well, obviously, and stuff like that. Favourite beans. I like black beans. I think my favourite bean to eat may be the kidney bean for some reason. There's just something about the texture and that. I know beans aren't particularly flavourful, but I think that one has a slightly better flavour than some of what. Do you want to go out again? What are you doing? What are you doing on that? Look at this distinguished gentleman. What a cutie. Ivan Kim, hi from Japan. Hi to you. How's the vegan scene in Japan now? I hear it's starting to take off. Matty, my wife has no patience for losing weight and also struggles with bad back and knees. How would I keep her motivated when she doesn't lose a stone a week like she would like to? I wouldn't. You don't want to be losing a stone a week. Not unless you're like 1,000,000 stone. You want to lose basically 1% of your total body weight at the most every week. And the easiest way is to eat whole foods plant-based. You can eat as much food as you want generally and still lose weight. Higher carb, lower fat, little nuts and seeds, but lots of legumes, some whole grains, lots of low-calorie veg, low-calorie fruit, little nuts and seeds, as I say, loads of herbs and spices to make it tasty. Find some great recipes. There's plenty of channels about, mine included, and cookbooks. Yeah. Lo, hey Hench, hi yourself. Do you plan to do diet coaching again? If I do, it will mean that I've failed as a YouTuber, so hopefully not. Hopefully not. I really want to double down on my social media career because as much as I like helping people, and I love it, and I love seeing their results, but I can only help one person at a time when I'm writing a plan. But when I'm doing videos and streams, etc., and posts, I can reach millions of people. So that feels like a better use of me. A Brit in Bangkok, any plans to travel abroad after everything clears up? Yeah, we're going to be starting a new business, and at some point we may be doing a series where we travel around the world and report on the vegan scene and try out their cuisine and interview people and see what's going on. So that'll be very good. We have a few places sort of earmarked. Yeah, that's very exciting. JB001, any views on animal rebellion? I think you took a comment down of mine on a video. I've never taken a comment of yours down. If you had like a link or like a bad word, YouTube doesn't allow like lots of comments, but I've never deleted a comment of yours. I donate to their group. I have direct action against the corporation. Is it? Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's great. Good on them. Heroes, if you ask me. Yeah, so I wouldn't have taken that down. Timmy Thistle, hello to you. Thanks for joining. Fernando, veganism is growing fast here in Mexico. Lovely. Every year we have a vegan fest, and there's starting to be more and more vegan food options in terms of vegan restaurants. Tried Beyond Burger, delicious. Fantastic. That's really good to hear, Fernando. Lovely. Tic Tac Beyond the Camera. Have you heard Vegan Gains' view on killing carnivorous animals? I don't watch him anymore. What's your opinion on that? So he's saying we should kill carnivorous animals, and if so, he needs to change his name because that wouldn't be vegan. That's my view on that, if that's what he's saying. Don't know if he is. Yeah, chickpea flour is great, Twisted Hippie. What did we used to make with chickpea flour, though? Pakora?
Yeah.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah.
What else have we made with that? Some speciality things. Soka, is it called? Those sort of omelette type?
Oh, yeah. And
things.
you can do things like breaded
onion rings.
And stuff, so you use a batter with that.
Yeah, you can make a batter with it and do like onion rings and mushrooms. So what do? You make the batter and then you roll them in breadcrumbs?
Yeah, so you mix the chickpea flour with a bit of water and seasonings. Yeah, then you put it in the fridge. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that's a good point, Twisted Hippie. Avon, lentils are the best. Lentils are very good, actually. They are one of my favourite legumes. They've got the most antioxidants out of other legumes because they've got more surface area to mass, which is oftentimes antioxidants form around the outside of different plant foods. They're brilliant. Very digestible as well. Hair is so slow. Meat propaganda is hilarious. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's really sad to hear. Vegan Trees just subscribed. Welcome to the channel if you're in the chat. Oh, you are, I can see. Welcome, thank you. Good to have you on board. In my street, they're opening 3 steakhouses in only 300 metres of street. Milk industry pushing their products on 90% lactose intolerant country. Mental, isn't it? Really crazy. Too cool. Around the world would be fun for us to watch as well. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we've got loads of exciting things. I don't know how long it's going to take with the old COVID and whatnot, but yeah, watch this space. Exciting times are coming. Susan, 2 months vegan, and I feel amazing. Let's have a round of applause for Susan, please, ladies and gentlemen. Good for you. Oh, Vegan Trees, you inspired me to eat whole foods, plant-based. That's really good to know. How long have you been doing that, and how are you feeling? Have you had any benefits? That's amazing. Tic Tac, Vegan Gain says to kill carnivorous animals because they're making other animals suffer painful deaths, so it's justified to kill them. He compares it to the alien movie that eats humans. Basically says if we don't let an animal eat us as well, then we don't let carnivorous animals. Don't you need carnivorous animals for like the whole like ecosystem? I thought they were important. Like if you lost all the predators out of the sea, like aren't we all doomed or something? Like what happened to that? Crazy. It's not vegan to harm animals, is it? It's not vegan to harm animals. So that I'd mind blown. I get the sentiment, and I do feel horrible for animals, but who are we to sort of play God, though, is the question I would ask. And the best species to kill out would be humans, really, if you're like thinking along those lines. So is he going to exterminate himself? Oh, thank you, Fernando. Oh, it's a hypothetical that he got RV to concede on. Not sure how real world it is. Oh, right. That makes more sense. Potato Rainbow is in the house. What a cool name. Vance, love your channel. Do you know anything about long-term disadvantages of a vegan diet? Well, there's vegan and there's vegan, and if you're eating Oreos and donuts and drinking lemonade, then you can have as bad or if not even worse health than a non-vegan. Say a non-vegan was eating a whole foods plant-based diet plus like a small amount of meat once a week or once a month, like their health is going to be pretty darn good, versus a vegan who's just eating junk food, their health is going to be horrible. So it depends what type of vegan diet you're talking about. But if you're eating whole plant foods, according to the data, I think we can infer that you ought to have the healthiest, happiest, longest life of any dietary plan on average. I suppose one disadvantage is you'll see all your friends and family die before you. Vegan trees. I've been whole foods plant-based for 2 months. Nice. I feel amazing. Lovely. The time I cut out all the processed foods, my vision drastically improved. Interesting. Recovery time was more than before. I've heard a lot of people say that their vision improved, including mine. Basically, over the first 6 months, I had 2 eye tests, and both times there was improvement, and I had to have weaker contact lens prescriptions. Very good. Dominus is in the house. Matthew, what food would you suggest that has low fat but higher protein? Eating protein and reduce my fat. Legumes are best. They've got virtually no fat, most of them, other than edamame or soya beans. Yeah, legumes would be best. What else is good? Seitan is nearly pure protein, I think, but that's not a whole food, so it's not as good. Protein powders, again, not a whole food, but they're going to be much higher in protein. Whole grains, they've got a decent amount of protein, but virtually all very low fat generally. Textured vegetable protein. Nutritional yeast is about 50% protein by weight, and I think that's very low in fat. And things like algae, like chlorella, that'd be a good one. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining. Fabian, what do you think of Sverige views on the world and the vegan agenda? What do you personally think is the reason for the push? I don't know that there is a push for plant-based diets. The government heavily subsidises the meat and dairy industry and not whole plant foods, so he's just a complete moron. He's basically backwards, isn't he? Completely backwards. He's a contrarian, and the thing with conspiracy theories is it makes complete imbeciles feel like they're intelligent, and that sums him up. Tic Tac, is it true that being on a whole foods plant-based diet can reverse some cancers? Yeah, prostate cancer was shown by Dean Ornish and a lady doctor. They did some studies, and he's now looking to see if you can reverse Alzheimer's as well. But yeah, definitely prostate cancer. There is that Gerson therapy where they just give you like large amounts of whole plant foods. I think you drink like carrot juices, greens juice. You eat tons of greens every day. They do coffee enemas as well, which they say is important for like clearing toxins because you're detoxing so fast. They reckon that they cure half of the cancers. Half of cancer patients. How true that is, I don't know. But Max Gerson started this in like the 1940s, and there was an attempt on his life. They tried to assassinate him, and they're not allowed to open up clinics in America. There is one in Mexico though, a Gerson clinic. I think his daughter has carried it on. Supposedly it works really well, and like in 50% of cases, according to them. I don't know how well verified that is. But it's basically like lots of organic produce, like mega amounts. Tic Tac, Sturridge is a failed vegan, that's right. Yeah, basically, he ate a horrible diet, and then he went to a completely healthy diet. His gut microbiome wasn't set up to handle it, so he pooed himself and got all embarrassed. And then he said that meat is the only healthy thing in the world, and plants are out to get you, which is totally opposite of the scientific consensus, which is not very scientifically literate, let's face it. And in fact, if when Vegan Gains debated him, he said, "Oh, you're not allowed to reference studies. You're not allowed to reference like logic and like the truth as we see it now, like based on the biggest preponderance of evidence. Like no, we'll just use like isolated like anecdotes of stupid people who didn't take B12 their whole vegan life." Stain, I would love to see Hench Herbivore travel channel. Nice. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Thank you. Margaret, what's up, Paul? How's everything going in the UK in terms of COVID? My hometown is down under Melbourne in its 4th lockdown. Yeah, we just came out of our 3rd, I think. Or was it our 4th? I think it was our 3rd. And yeah, I believe it was going well, but I heard a rumour, I don't know if it was today, that it's starting to go a bit silly now because of the Indian variant that's going around. So I'm a little bit concerned. Tic Tac, I recently stopped eating junk food. Nice, now I've been eating whole plant foods and I'm getting horrible headaches. Why is that? Just curious. No idea. If you've stopped caffeine, that would be one reason. Yeah, maybe it's detox. Maybe it's detox and you're trying to eliminate toxins faster than you're able and you're sort of reabsorbing some of them. Not suggesting that you try that coffee enema as recommended by Max Gerson, although you can. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. Obviously, you want to be well hydrated. You want to be sleeping well. I would imagine it's a temporary side effect of some kind of shift in your body, but likely it will be that you're detoxing like maybe too fast. So maybe you want to more slowly transition, perhaps if it becomes too uncomfortable. Leo Bardo, does fibre get you big or protein? Fibre will get your gut looking big temporarily as it fills it up. It won't do anything for growing your muscles because, well, there's no protein in fibre. So you want to be eating protein, but you want to be eating adequate calories as well. So enough carbs and fat that you at least maintain in weight. If you've got some weight to lose, then you could just stay on maintenance calories, get enough protein on top of that, and you'll be burning fat and hopefully building some muscle. Or if you're quite slim and you're wanting to really put some size on, you just need to be eating in a caloric surplus. But no, fibre won't help you in terms of those goals, but you will live longer and happier and healthier. So that's highly recommended. Brit in Bangkok, hope you will come to Asia. I'm sure we will. It would be great to experience. It would be a great experience. Bangkok has some great options. There's a 2-week vegan festival in October. Is that right? What is that called? Jem?
Yeah.
In Thailand, there's a 2-week vegan festival in October.
Oh, lovely.
That's good, isn't it?
That's really good.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that actually. Low. What's a good 1 to 3 foods to have at the core of a daily diet, particularly for someone who has difficulty eating enough? I would say legumes. So beans, chickpeas, split peas, lentils. They're very good. They're very, very good. They're high in protein. carbs. They have a good amount of like healthy nutrients, and there's studies to show that the more beans we eat, like the longer we live. Like that's the one thing that all the blue zones really had in common, where they have the most centenarians. So legumes for sure. In terms of eating enough calories, I would say whole grains, you know, they're quite calorically dense. And then maybe like tropical fruits or dried fruits, even better. For someone who's struggling to get enough calories, that's where I'd go. Or, you know, like nuts, seeds, avocado, you could go like a bit higher fat. Vegan trees. I once didn't like the taste of lentils. Now I eat them every day with, I think it's trying to say nutritional yeast. What is all this hashtag Sverige meeting 2020 bullshit in my vegan stream? Cut that out. What is it with these thousands of ex-vegans? Thousands, is it? What is it with these millions of ex-meat-eating bellends? Get out of here. You're getting on my tits. Timo, hi Paul. Recently had a challenging trip. Took 5 grams fresh. But those were some potent. It took me a lot. I'm still trying to recover and integrate 2 weeks later. Yeah, I had a bit of an experience yesterday. You might have noticed I was very silent. I did 6 grams of cubensis and also with quite a strong tab as well. And yeah, that was bonkers. That was bonkers. I feel a bit shattered today, if I'm honest. A bit shattered. Carolyn, morning Paul, I'm learning so much from you. Oh, thank you. May I just say that your tuna mayo kebab garlic sauce recipes are the best. The garlic sauce is supremely tasty and the kebab is so easy to make. Thanks for the love, Carolyn. I really appreciate you and I'm glad you're enjoying the recipes. Oh, the J Festival, is it? Very good. I'll give that a look. Yeah, yeah, Thailand is definitely on the old bucket list for sure. I hear like Chiang Mai is particularly good. And isn't there like a vegan island as well? And isn't there also an island with some type of, there's lots of one type of animal on there? I don't know if it's pigs or cats or foxes. I think there's one of those type of islands in Thailand as well. So I'd love to check those out. JK, do flax seeds increase cortisol levels? I have absolutely no idea. I really wouldn't worry about it though. Supposedly, flax seeds increase your sex hormone binding globulin, and I eat flax seeds every day, and I have done for the last 9 years. Except when I had my sex hormone binding globulin test, it was right down at towards the bottom of range where you want it. So a lot of this like reductionist science is just not worth worrying about. Like micromanaging all these kind of little things. If you're eating a healthy diet of whole plant foods, on aggregate, you're just going to be extremely well, and you just don't need to worry about these things. No, awesome. I really appreciate it. Being vegan in the army isn't as easy as I expected. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Vegan Gaze, subscribe to Vegan Gaze. She's blinking great, and she's on the way to the gym like a good girl. That's good to hear. You're okay, Twisted Hippie. See you, JB. That vegan Liam, bit of a weird one. What do you think of rewilding the UK and reducing lynx, wolves and other animals to help biodiversity and clear deer populations, thereby removing the need to cull them? Well, I suppose like you're sort of culling them with like second hand, but you know, we are meant to have wolves, aren't we? Like, we killed them out, so yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm no ecologist, so I wouldn't like to really weigh in on that one. Jamie, hi Paul, what benefits have you noticed from taking psychedelics? I've heard microdosing mushrooms can be helpful for depression. So just to caveat this, as I have to say every time, this is not for everyone. If you're going to do this, do some serious research. It can really mess you up if you're not the sort of person who should be messing with psychedelics. However, yeah, there's now 40 institutes around the world. Johns Hopkins just got given another $90 million because of the efficacy of treating PTSD, like just general trauma, addiction, treatment-resistant depression with psychedelics. And I'm a massive fan. I'm a massive fan. I think we need to get rid of the old stigma, the old nonsense that particularly the US government put out around the time of the Vietnam War, because just so many young men weren't up for going to kill like people who they had more in common with than the people who were sending them over to kill them. And because their minds were opened up with this perception altering substance that can get you more in tune with your sort of true self and cut away all the nonsense that we're kind of taught, the conditioning. I know people who have gone vegan off the back of using psychedelics. One of my friends did ayahuasca, and he said in his sort of vision, he was in God's workshop and he saw animals, like how they're sort of put together, and yeah, he had to go vegan after that. I feel that's what the psychedelics do. They shatter your brain, give you perspective, and then your brain slowly recovers to equilibrium over time. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I relived some past trauma yesterday from 16 years ago. I was crying my eyes out. I basically did something like not very nice to someone, and I got to feel what that was like for them. And I was grateful. I was grateful to be given that perspective, and yeah, it's not easy. And people will say, "Oh, you can have a bad trip." Well, the people who are studying this, but they're using counsellors as well as the therapy. It's not just that you're using hallucinogens. You've got two counsellors there helping you work through everything. And they say there's no such thing as a bad trip. There are challenging trips, but those challenging trips where you face these things that are inside us, holding us back, you can't deal with them until you face them. So they say, no, not bad trips, challenging trips. And actually, those are the ones you want. But they can be pretty traumatizing for a while. And yeah, so again, not to be taken lightly and better off in a clinical setting. So in the UK, Imperial College are running these studies. In America, Johns Hopkins, UCLA, NYU. 40 like major institutions around the world. They've been studying them now again for over a decade, and just they're being so efficacious. You know, something like 80% of people with, I don't know, I won't get the numbers exactly right, but it's something like 80% of people with, I don't know, say treatment-persistent depression, like a month on after one session, have noticed like a massive benefit. Timo, the psychedelic studies have got tight control environment, experience guides and therapy. Yeah, combined, yeah. It's not the same as treatment on your own and you'll be healed. Exactly. I think, like, you know, if you're with someone who's sensible and experienced and a good, I don't know, has good empathy and a good understanding of psychology. Like Gemma really helps me out. She trained as a psychologist, and she's just very intelligent, and I really trust her, and I know she's got my best interest. So I'm less likely to have a bad time of it, and and if and when I do, she can sort of help me through it. So yeah, it's not something to be taken lightly or really do. I wouldn't do it on your own. And ideally in a clinical setting, like Timo says. A Brit in Bangkok, yes, Chiang Mai is the best place for vegan food, and the islands are talking about Koh Samui, yeah, and Koh Phangan, right. I'm going in July and we'll make a video. Fantastic. So have you got a YouTube channel, A Brit in Bangkok? Matthew, are there cons as well as pros of having tofu in your diet? So tofu is processed. It's had fibre. I think you lose about half the minerals or so over the whole bean. So it's had some good stuff taken out. Unless you're eating some kind of weird cutlet or something, it's not had any negatives added in. So on the scale of things, like it's all right. But it's not as healthful as what you're displacing, which would be a whole bean. So healthy, unhealthy, I say healthy or unhealthy compared to what, and it's all relative. And if you want to optimize your health, you probably wouldn't have it, you'd stick to beans. If, however, you're a bodybuilder, you're struggling to get the volume in and you need more protein to optimize what you're doing, it can be a benefit, and that's why I use it. Not sure about the animal. I might have that wrong. But I know Japan, there's certainly one of those islands. I think there's one Thailand way as well. But I know there's an island where it's like just full of pigs. There's one which is full of foxes and one which is full of cats. They really overrun the place. And I would love to visit these places. Bigotry, psychedelics are great. Not recommended for anyone yet. Everyone, very true. Under 25, don't even look at it because your brain's not going to be able to. You can easily mess up your brain development. Not too much of the substance to get a lower time of the trip. I don't know how much that really plays into it or not. I mean, I did a stupid dose yesterday. Not just a heroic dose, but heroic dose times at least 1.5 or more. Nearly double what you'd call the standard heroic dose. And 12 hours later, the visuals had kind of gone. I actually went out and we had some food out. And if I was sort of tripping, I wouldn't want to be around people. So I don't know how much of a difference that makes in terms of duration. I think it's generally sort of 6 to 8 hours for shrooms and then about 10 to 12 for LSD. Obviously, the effect is going to be less, but that's my understanding anyway. And I've done tiny amounts up to, like I say, this crazy amount that I did yesterday. I'm really hoping to have one of those spiritual out of body type experiences where you kind of soul detaches from your body, so to speak, if that's really a thing. But yeah, I'm finding it hard to do enough of a dose. I think that's because of my just mass, possibly. And then in terms of natural and synthetic, I see why you'd say that, and generally that's my take on most things. But actually, if you look at the toxicology of LSD and shrooms, they're virtually not non-toxic, but there's the lowest on. If you look at pharmacological substances, average medications you can get over the counter, they're less toxic than those. They're so safe in terms of that. Obviously you can get other problems, so again, do your research if you're going to look into it, and I'm not recommending that people do it, but I think they're worthy of investigation. And I sort of I think with LSD and shrooms are kind of the effect comes in waves, whereas LSD seems to be quite a level thing, so I quite like that. And in terms of microdosing, I think shrooms give you better, LSD gives you better focus. So I think if you're trying to be productive, I would actually prefer LSD over shrooms now for microdosing, personally. But anyway, it's a wonderful compounds. They're really fascinating. And some people are getting such great health benefits from it. Right, I better go and do some. I better go and do some things. I need to make a video today. I've been a bit finding it hard to get videos out because we've been doing a course for a video course that we're going to sell. So I need to get some content out. So I better sign off. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on my toast. Oh, Will Smith is here. Good to see you, Will. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. Follow me, hench_herbivore on the gram, and Gemma. Our cookbooks are still half price, $4.99, link below. We've got 2 cookbooks. It's all mirrored, it's so hard to work that out. And what day is it? Sunday. We're back tomorrow night, 6 p.m. GMT. Set a reminder because YouTube won't tell you. And if you're new, we'd love you to become part of this awesome community. So do hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon. And we'll hope to see you next time. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, guys, whatever you're up to. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great